Okay, welcome to our app. We don't have a name yet, which is why it says app name there at the top. We decided to design ours through Figma since it really didn't make sense to do a paper prototype since everybody's pretty far away from each other. We just take. It's a little long to collaborate, and this way we can all collaborate on the same canvas at the same time. Alright, so getting right to it. We've got a login screen here where you can enter your details and your password and hit login. After that, you're taken to a page where you can either create or join a group. We're going to create a group, we're going to join a group. Just enter the group ID and the password and hit join. And now we're at the home screen. Home screen is pretty self-explanatory. We've got a list of tasks that we've committed to or have been assigned to us. And from there you can go directly into a task and it shows the title of the task, a little description, when it's supposed to be done, how difficult it is, and the reward. So the reward we have, because we have like parents talking about their main mode of motivation for their children was creating an incentive for them. So we kind of developed a little point system that can be redeemed for perks later on, which we'll show you here in a bit. Alright, so also on the task, you can look at the task info, which is what we just did, or request help. Let's just say that you started doing a task and you realized it's a little bit more than you anticipated, and you're like, hey, need a little bit of help. You request help. Help requested. Super cool. And then after the task is done, you just hit done. It says, hey, the bathrooms are clean. It's complete. It's checked off. So you can just hit the plus to create another task. So this says post a task, but this is kind of a rough prototype. You could also use it to create an event. You just hit the title of the task or event, a little description, when it's due. If that was an event, then that would be it. You can just hit post task. If it's a task, you can just say, hey, it's about how hard the task is. There's a reward you get for doing it. And you hit post. It's really easy. So you can also go to open tasks, and it shows a list of unclaimed tasks, things that have not been claimed by other users. Let's just say you want to do a little bit of extra so that you can have some extra points that you maybe want to redeem for more perks or cash if you're a teenager. You want to go out hang out with your friends longer. Your parents are like, okay, well then you need to help out with dinner. So, okay, I'm gonna help with dinner on the 10th, I guess, at 7 p.m. and claim that task. So that's really easy. We think that is a great way for people to see what's available, what needs to be done in their little environment, whatever group that they're in. This could be at work, could be at home. It's kind of targeted for housemates, but it's kind of a perfect little get up. So let's go back to this section here. If we go to the bottom, we have a group chat. So this group chat was kind of put in here because when we were talking to users, there was some concern about a lack of communication because you're using this app, you're posting tasks, you're like, hey, I need this done and this done and this done. It can seem a little abrasive to people, without very much face-to-face communication. It becomes a little commanding, I guess. So we put a little group chat in there so things can be clarified better. Be a little bit more open communication. If you weren't able to get something done, everybody else isn't freaking out like, hey, why didn't you wash the dishes? Or why did the bathrooms get clean? Say, hey, sorry I was out. But it can also just be just general laid back communication. The other reason that we put it in there was there was a little bit of concern about privacy, and let's say you're rooming with people you don't really want to give your phone number out, or it's a college group, you know, might be in a dorm or something like that. Um, Basically concerns about privacy and having to hand out personal information that you don't want other people to have. This is a great little perk where communication can just stay within this space. All right, moving on to the profile page. So this profile page, you know, some of this is a little bit on our header, like the star rating. That's kind of it's actually a task rating, and it indicates how well you're completing tasks. So the more you complete tasks on time, and the more you can actually complete tasks, the better your rating is. So that uses those two metrics to calculate what it is. So this particular user is 3.5 out of 5 stars. They have accumulated 60 points, which they can redeem. So this is what we were talking about earlier. Like each task has a reward. The rewards build up. This is great for kids. So maybe for little kids, a parent is running this themselves, right? And they've set up these incentives. It might be a great way for a parent to keep track of what they've committed to with their child. For a teenager, you could put, you know, money on there, so $20 or something, or an allowance, or extra time out with your friends. It's a great way for them to build up points and be responsible and use this in a clever way. So pretty self-explanatory. Also shows other group members. So depending on what group you're signed into, shows everybody else that's in the group. You could just check that out. Use that so you know who you're talking to if you like do a group chat. There's another little thing that we threw in here, and that is the calendar. Calendar is great because that can sync with your phone calendar, integrate with Google or your iPhone, and if you've committed to things or if things have been assigned to you, then depending on how you have your settings set up, then those notifications will come up through the calendar app. So we think that is really cool. And you could just go in there and see what tasks are available from here if you wanted to. Got a little side menu. Takes you to the home screen, profile screen, and the calendar. So, you know, there's also a little settings thing, which we haven't built yet. But that's basically our app. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Thank you so much for watching.